Hello everybody, this is Torgal and welcome back to Modsauce 2. Now I've been driving myself crazy earlier today. I did some recording and when I was editing it, it was already 25 minutes. And honestly, I felt like I did not achieve anything. So I scratched that and I said I'm gonna re-record some things that we did and just give you a rundown of the items and so on that I have made between episodes. Most notably, Atomic Disassemblyr here. I'm also, by the way guys, I'm gonna stop crafting stuff on camera. I remember when my channel started out in Crafting Paradise and so on, I always prepared everything and crafted it on the go. And I kind of want to get back to that. I think that, you know, if I spend too much time crafting, it takes away valuable time from building things up and explaining a process and so on. Let me know if you guys want to see more crafting again, but until, you know, the majority of you guys reply, yes, more crafting, please, I'm not going to craft on camera anymore. Because it's just a waste of time to me. I redid this over here. Little bit to make it more automated. We had these two right there. They get their input from this chest. Let me put on the wrench. And it comes down. And that's for ore processing. If I want to pulverize and smelt it. And the byproduct here from this pulverizer, the yellow stuff, for example, cinnabar, which you cannot process, directly goes out into this output chest here. Then I have two chests here. One for the pulverizer, another one also upgraded to reinforced with the augments. And a smelter. This is, you know, to pulverize coal and stuff like that. Where I just want to pulverize a lot. And this is, you know, to smelt bricks and so on. It's just, I wanted to have two different setups. Induction smelter, crucible, and fluid transposer still the same. I upgraded the sag mill with an octatic capacitor because I needed to make a lot of silicone and so on. And I just didn't want to wait. This guy already had one, and the painting machine only has a double layer. I didn't want to go octatic because we really don't use it that much. And this guy is also overclocked to the teeth now because I've been tired of waiting for this guy. Here the upgrade. So he's got 8 speed and 8 energy. So this thing is now blazing fast. Enrichment chamber I didn't upgrade. Did I upgrade this one? Yes, I did also upgrade this one. I forgot 8 and 8. Because I use this mostly to process redstone ore, because you get so much more redstone when you do it. The same with lapis. I forgot there was, I think, one more. I forgot which one. And the osmium compressor I made because we needed that to make this refined obsidian ingot here. You need the osmium compressor with the refined obsidian and the osmium ingot. And all the output from everything goes into this one chest here. So that's been working really nice because, you know, I did so much crafting. And the the Atomic Disassemblyr I made because I love this tool around the base. If I go actual mining, I'm still going to use my hammer and my pick because they have Silk Touch and Fortune, because you cannot enchant the Atomic Disassemblyr. But it has a pick, an axe, a lumber axe. If you change it to vein mode and you hit a piece of a tree, the whole tree comes down, just like with the lumber axe. It's a hoe, a weapon, and a shovel. Everything at once. So you never need to switch tools when you build around the base, and especially because you guys see down here, I did a lot of landscaping. I did a lot of landscaping, and I'm not nowhere near done with this, because this is where we're gonna put the factory and everything from Immersive Engineering. About the next 3 episodes, I'm gonna record everything today, but it's probably gonna be so long that I need to split it up in 3 episodes, and I'm gonna make sure to upload them back to back every day, so you don't need to wait 2 days or something for them, because, well, it's all the same, and I just don't want to upload a 2-hour episode or something. The other thing is, I added a control panel over here. You guys remember downstairs we had the lever for this energy cell right there, and we had a lever right there for the chest. I'm like, you know what, it would be cool if we set this up all upstairs. So I ran this redstone conduit, one to this energy cell on green. And when you check it, it comes as green, and I set the power to extract only with signal green. So the setting itself is the same, I just added the green. Then over here, it's red and red. This is the main power. And down here is blue and blue. So I can turn everything off from up here If I want to stop the ender chest input, I flip this one. If I run out of power in the reactor and need the backup power, I can use this one. And this is the main power. And reason being is when I go to bed, I turn this off. Because right now we have nothing coming into the ME system. And the ME system is actually using, I made this network tool, 82 RF a tick. Okay? And now that it's off, it's going to use the internal storage. And when this is empty, the system shuts off and I don't need any power overnight. Eventually, I'm not going to use this because we're going to, have yellorium coming in all the time. So I don't need to worry about turning it off. But until then, I just like having this extra lever there. All right. Then the other thing we did is I found the Staff of Traveling a while ago in a dungeon chest. And right there you saw it flashed real quick. Let's wait. There it is. You have a 1.4% chance to find this in dungeon chests, and I did. I was lucky. And I have one travel anchor right there and one down here. Because I want to have a quicker way to get back and forth between these two. Oh, I need to bring this here. Good that I came down. Between the factory up there without... of course, I'm going to have a nice path and everything coming over here eventually with fences. Because don't forget, we're going to have a lot of dinosaurs roaming here in the next few weeks. That's going to take a while. So... all right, one more thing I want to show you inside real quick before we check out all this stuff right here. And that is, I removed the water generation. I'll show you guys in a second. And I added this transfer node. I did not use the aqueous accumulator. I know we can upgrade it, I believe. But this guy, it's easier to upgrade. Okay, right now I have 4 world interaction upgrades in it. So it gives me 4 buckets of water every, whatever this is, second or something. And I have a blue with diamond ender tank system hooked up, and I have a couple of spare of these. So wherever I need water, I can simply use this tank. I don't need to have, different setups everywhere because it's just nicer. It saves you room and it's all in one place. So, actually, let me just show you real quick, just in case you're wondering. Oh yeah, I forgot. I also made this wireless charger here. eChance let me have, let me click here. One of these Enderman head from Ender Owl. I have a bunch of Enderman head, but not this type. And I needed one, and she has 5, so she let me have one, so I could make this resonant Ender resonator to make this wireless charger. So now every time I'm up here, anywhere in the area, it charges my jetpack, it charges the Staff of Traveling, and it charges my atomic disassembler. So that is really cool. The other thing also is I made a ring of magnetization. Because the other magnet you cannot disable via the... I think that flower is called Signolia from Botania. When you place it somewhere, the magnets become disabled in that area. And I wanted to make sure that if I go to other people's bases... We spoke about this on IRC in the forums. A lot of people are starting to have, big Botania setups and so on. And they have coal laying around. And you come in the area with the other magnet and you start sucking everything up. It's a pain in the butt. So now... if I go somewhere to other people's bases and they want to make sure that magnets are disabled, they can disable mine. It doesn't overrule. The one from Practicalities doesn't play nice with that. All right, and here, this is how I replaced it. I simply put the ender tank here, turned it to output, so now this barrel would get always filled if I turn it on again. All right, good. So now let's go, I'll just go down here again and fly over. I need a lot of clay for our factory. Okay, I want to go with brick. I think it's gonna look good. I kind of want to make it a little old-fashioned looking. I'm a little worried too because brick is very overwhelming from the colors, but I hope that I can figure out how to make it so it still looks nice. And we'll go over there in 1 second. So I made this little setup. Mike has a harvester and a what is it called, sludge boiler going for a while now. And he gave me 7 stacks of clay blocks. Well, and I'm lazy. I don't want to break them all down into regular clay. So I made this little contraption for now. Built the block breaker and the block placer. And, I simply put in a few stacks of clay blocks in here. It places it. And, of course, I turn on this redstone clock. Because you hear it. It breaks it. And then it puts it automatically into our ender chest, which goes into the ME system. It's just... I placed all this stuff down here because most of this will go into the factory when it's done. But right now, I don't want to clutter up the upstairs. So, now let's go to the meat of today. And that is, we're going to get started with Immersive Engineering. And I could use reactor power and so on to run most of the things, but I don't want to. I think that's a really cool mod and I have never really used it before. So I want to do everything within the mod that is possible, besides conveyor belts for transporting items. I'm not going to use those because I think I don't want to have floating entities. So we are going to use conduits or ducts, something to transport items and liquids. But I want to do power generation over here with some water wheels to run the, what are they called? Fermenter and, let's see here real quick. Where is it? Tools and machinery, no. One overview. Biodiesel, there we go. We need to make biodiesel to run that biodiesel generator. And you need to make this, the plant oil via the industrial squeezer. And we're gonna use melon seeds. Industrial hemp seeds give us more, but I don't know how many seeds you get whenever you harvest it. Melons, I know I get a ton. I didn't want to go pumpkins. I always go pumpkins, so this time I want to go melons. And then we also need to make this, what is it, fermenter to ferment sugarcane. I am using sugarcane. We could also use apples or melons again on potatoes, but I want to just use something else, so we're going to use sugarcane. And then from there, we're going to put that all into this thingy right here. Wait a second, where is it? This one. This guy makes us biodiesel out of these two, and that we're going to then pump into the crusher. The power, no, sorry. Yeah, no, the biodiesel, wait a second. Yes, no, the biodiesel, I'm missing one step right now. We're making the oil and the fermented stuff, and that goes into the, I thought that no, they both go one on each side. Or do we know? Hold on. You will need to flute into a refinery. So we need to make the refinery, and that makes us the biodiesel. And that we're going to pour into the biodiesel generator to make power, which we're going to use to power the crusher. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a really cool setup, I think. And in order to understand everything, guys, make yourself this book, this engineer's manual. It is really good. There was only one information I couldn't find in it, and that is how much each one of the wires can carry. But I'll get into more details when we actually set that up. I found that on the wiki. Unfortunately, that's not in the book, but everything else I needed to know found in the book. What I did today earlier, I made 2 coke ovens and 2 blast furnaces because I need to get this started, because in order to make most of the parts, we're going to need creosote. Just noticed why. Because this doesn't stack. I gotta start pulling these out. Aha, they only stack to 15. Interesting. I'm gonna have to pull these out. And if you guys know Railcraft, you guys know how to make coke, coke, and then make... This guy doesn't have anything right now, but I'm sending the coke over here to make iron into steel ingots from Immersive Engineering. I think there's another way we could make steel via mechanism, but again, I want to keep everything possible within the mod. And of course, these are also going to move over into the factory. I just set them up here for now. So how this works is, when you check... Alright, I'm still a little... There we go. Coke oven. It shows you everything in here. It's awesome. It shows you the recipe to make it, and then how to assemble it, layer by layer. This is an amazing book, okay? It's really cool. And notice here, by the way, that unlike Railcraft, you still need the middle block, okay? And none of these multi-block structures, or any of the other ones we're going to build, assemble by themselves. So you put them together, and then you need to make an engineering's hammer, and right-click it once, and then it forms it, which is the only extra step. It's not, you know, like a Railcraft blast furnace that automatically forms. Also note this is one lower. It's not 4 tall like the other ones. And now just a quick overview. I have hoppers here that automatically input coal into them, and that processes it. And I just put the manual bottles in here, and I will set it up in a second to pull out the creosote so it doesn't back up. And then once the coal coke is done, sitting over here, I'm pulling it out, one here as green and one here as brown. And I'm inputting green into the first one and brown into the second one. Otherwise, you know, it would have filled up this one all the way to the rim, and then eventually, so I'm just doing it by hand. I did have the round robin enabled on them, but it doesn't seem to work. This one always had more coal coke than this one, and I want them both to run at the same time. This one just got a coal coke, and this one is probably gonna get one any second. And then on these two, I have the hoppers on top here, with just filling in iron, and that makes the steel. And then here, I have the steel coming out into this chest. So now once I have the cryo seed here, let's see real quick. I don't have another cache on me, well, but we can fix this real quick. Let's go up here, and we'll get conduit. Oh, I have them on me. Let's get another chest real quick. I don't want to use too many caches, and I think that is all I need. Yeah, let's go back down, and just make sure that this is fixed here. So we're gonna do this the same way. I'm gonna have one conduit right there, and I'm gonna just break it right there so it doesn't do anything. We'll put a chest on top here. Oh, this has too many slots. I'm worried that it's gonna pull out the coal coke here. So that means I do need a filter real quick, guys. Sorry. Luckily we can get up here quick. I think I have an advanced item filter. That's fine. We'll just use that. Because later on, of course, this is going to be wired up nicer when it's in the factory. But for now, I just wanted to make sure I have this process going. And so let's go ahead, and that is up. And I kind of... Oh yeah, the extracts are not set yet. So I can put this in here and say only cryo seed oil. And put those in here already. And now if I say you start always... Come on. Always extract, and always... Why is this not accepting it? Bam, it already pulled this. So they stack to 16. Okay, so now I cannot have a backup of these anymore, and I'll just need to put in these bottles by hand for now, which is fine. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I don't need that much cryo seed oil to get going, but I wanted to have it automated and the steel too. So, cool. Now, the next thing I want to do is, because I said, you know, I need so much clay... I remember in Modsauce 1, we set up a process, and I figured out how I did that again. And I want to set this up with you guys real quick. Check out, there's already 2 powers right here. 2 power conduits, so they're ready to go. And for this, we need the rotary condensator, and the chemical injection chamber, and a water tank. And how we're going to do this, where was it again? Right there, okay. We're going to set this guy that way. That is the small, what's coming out. And apparently the big one here is what's going in. And I put the ender tank right there and set it to output. And that will fill this guy here with water. So now we got water. And now we need to change this to decondensating. And you see now it's making us water vapor. All right. And the water vapor, I hope I haven't tested this. Oh, it's already full. So already water vapor in here. And now how this works is I don't want to use the cache with the dirt. Can mechanism machines automatically input? I don't think they can. So I'm going to put this from the back right there. Put an empty cache on top. And then set this to input. And the up auto extract always. And then we're just going to have this cache to the right. And that's where the clay is going to go. So now we just need to change the sides. So output is going to be to the right. And we're going to set it to auto eject on. Don't forget output and mechanism is blue. Input is red. And the top we're going to set to... No, sorry. The back is going to be input. All right. So now if I put down this one right there. And let's take a few stacks. And put them in there. It's already gone. Perfect. Ooh, this is loud. And what that does is it fills this dirt here with that water vapor, and that makes us a clay block. You see, it's already there. So that is really cool. And empty hand, right click, locks it. Empty hand, right click, locks it. But I'm actually going to leave them unlocked so I can see when the dirt is empty. So now we're making our own clay. And just to show you guys real quick, you know, I just then take a few stacks, Let me bring this with me again so I don't forget when I landscape over there. We can come down here. And so now I can finally show you guys how this works. And put the clay in there, and then when I turn this on, places it and breaks it. And it goes in the ender chest, and now we got the clay in the ME system, and I can use it to make more, you know, bricks and so on. So now that we got this guy done, I'm gonna keep landscaping. There's a lot of stuff I need to do over here. And I'm also going to, let me show you guys, Immersive Engineering, make 4 of these Kinetic Dynamos, because you need these to hook the water wheels to. These water wheels, you can have up to 3 per Kinetic Dynamo. That's all it thinks that tells you in the book, and generate power. And when you have the water running a certain way, and I'm going to show you and explain it to you when we set them up, they generate 90 RF a tick, each one of them. So we're going to have 360 RF from these water wheels, and I never need to do anything. And of course, I'm going to, you know, make all the other stuff. So now why do I need all this treated wood, the creosote? Because all these parts here are made with these treated wood, where you need creosote oil and the engineering's workbench, and there's tons of other stuff. And the steel later on, I actually don't know what this one takes. This one just takes copper and iron and more copper and sticks. Cool. But the steel we'll need tons of later for these guys right here. The heavy engineering blocks. We're gonna need a lot of them, so you guys see each one of them takes 4. Well, actually, that makes 2. 4, 8, 12. So 6 per block. So we're gonna need a lot of steel. So next time I'm back, I'm going to have all the items done, the landscaping done, and then we'll set up this water power for today, and then we'll see. I'm probably not going to have much more time, but I definitely want to get this done today, because then next episode, or for me the same day, we can then make all the sugarcane and the melon farms and get that processed, and then the last day we're going to put it all together and actually have the crusher process our ore finally. So for you guys, I'll be back in just a second, and I'm going to get busy landscaping. Now, it's been about 3 hours of building, and we made 830 clay easily. That's all the dirt I had in there. So that is really nice to see. And let's see if I can carry that all with me. Yes, I can. So I can drop that off on the bottom. And let's go there real quick, because I wanted to just show you. Easily the creosote. I used I'm gonna say 30 bottles of creosote maybe to make everything I needed, and it's empty right now because I don't have any more bottles in here. But I think I have another 6 stacks, over 100 actually, so that's over 10 stacks left. But check it out, we only got 37 steel. Not sure why 37, because it's supposed to have an equal amount. This one here is almost done. So the steel production is very slow, just like it is in, or was, however you want to say, in Railcraft. But I checked the recipes, and we can exchange, whatever you want to call that, all the steel for mechanism steel, so I can make that on demand much faster. So let's just get ahead, and I'm actually gonna put the rest of this in here again, just so I don't have in my inventory. So it's actually cool that it's night right now, because I think it looks really nice at night. Check it out. I put a lot of work in this. I think it turned out pretty cool. I think it's gonna look better when it's actually finished. I built this thing right here. You guys see, I kind of took... Let me sleep now real quick, just so it's a little better on the recording. That's just only going to take a second. But I have this little pillar, or whatever you want to call it, just around the corner here. And I kind of took that as my inspiration. This guy right here. Of course, this one is a lot nicer. Because it really looks like Minecraft generated. You know, crazy, with the ores right there, and stuff overhanging, and all the vines and so on. But I built something similar over here because I wanted to have a water source. You know what I mean? I didn't just want to have water here. Thought that was kind of boring, so... It's still not realistic that this much water comes out here, but let's just say this is some spring, you know, over there is water coming out. And of course I'm going to dress this up more. I was waiting for all these vines to grow and then see what it looks like definitely the factory goes over here, so it's gonna block most of the view anyway from over there. But let's get busy now with the actual power setup. Put a little door here. I could have just flown in, but and this back here I made way too big. And loosed a lot of my chisel and even mixed in some cobble, you know, just to make this look used. If you just have the entire wall like this. Speaking of, I forgot this wall. I'll fix that in a second. Here's what you do. You simply take, you know, the chisel and then bam, and then here some, and then let's say here we want broken, and you just go around and go crazy like that. But I'll fix this later. I don't want to do that on camera. So now let's start by setting up all the wheels first. I think that's the best start. And I told you guys you need these Kinetic Dynamos. And I'm not sure if you can set them however you want them, but I always put them like this. So this right here looks like it could be the bearings or whatever, you know, where the wheel is connected to, and that needs to go into the wide area here. Bam, and one more over here. Like that. And now we can set up the wheels, and it's a little tricky setting them up, as you can see. Really? 1, 2, and then that's why I left these holes over here, because you're gonna come over here, and then you can place the third one. And let me place all of them real quick. And you see there's a hole above the Kinetic Dynamo, because that's where we actually gonna have the connector, because we gotta connect it somehow to the wires. That's how this works. And the last one is gonna be very tricky. I'm probably gonna have to make myself something like this real quick so I can get. Come on, really? Oh, come on. Let me get in there. And there's the last one. Can I still get out? Awesome. Well, let's just close. I'm even gonna close the hole here because I don't want to keep these holes, of course. And like that, and like this. What? Oh yeah, I'm one short now. Can I get in here? Like that. And let's get 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can close all these holes real quick, just so it's nice and pretty. There. There. And there. All right, so I'd say before we make the water run, we got to do that from the top and from the front. Let's set up the connectors first, so we don't have so much noise yet. And the way I do it, the way I figured out how to do this is you have to put one connector on top like that, okay? And then we actually have to put a connector across here, like there, because otherwise I cannot come down. You cannot just run these wires willy-nilly. They don't go through other blocks and so on, okay? And I'd say, so we can still, where are we gonna put this? We wanna have it, Actually, I'm gonna keep it up higher, guys. I think that makes more sense, because the thing is with these wires, okay, let me just set one up here. With these wires is that when, where's my angel blocks? Where did I put those? All right, I don't know where my angel blocks are. Let's just use dirt. That's good. The longer the distance is of these things, okay, the more power it loses. It's not a lot, but it is some. So let's put this guy up here. And this, you see the orange symbol right there, that's output, and blue is input. And you can change the sides on these, you can. So now we need another connector up there. And then we'll wire this up with this copper coil. You click on one connector, you see it says linked from to this one. Now you got a copper wire and another one here. So now this is, if this starts running, this capacitor, which is the battery, the storage, is going to charge, okay? But before we do that, I wanted to show you guys a little trick. Can I take this off? No, okay, so this comes all off. If you want to get wires, by the way, off, you just right-click with the engineering's wire cutters on one of these connections, and then it pops that cable out. But how I did it for testing, because it's not easy to figure out, you know, how much power do you actually get. I made a basic capacitor bank here. And we can put one of these connectors on top. Oh, I saw the wire flash for a second. Bam. So now this is connected, okay? And now on this side right here with an empty hand, I'm changing it to I/O, so it shows you how fast it's charging. And now before we set up the rest, let's go out and start the water flow. There's a couple more things we need to do, and I wanted to do them on camera. I'm going to show you on these. Where did I set it up? On this one, okay. Now, the most power, I can't just have water run over it and fall down here, okay? But then the thing with 3 will only generate about 60 RF. But the max we can get is 90, so that's what I want to get. And the way you can do that is to make sure that you wrap the water around in a semicircle. So that's half the circle around and then push this way, okay? And the way I've been doing that is by setting up this blue glass, because you can see it through the water then. So the water will fall down and then go this way also, okay? And we can actually do that right now without fixing it over here so it looks good. Let me think here for 1 second. Oh yeah, I need to open the water now. And how I did that up here is I used jungle wood. All we do is remove these 3, and now the water is gonna start running. And you guys see it runs down, and this glass then with the extra step, if you don't have this one down here, then this one right there does not have a running water block next to it. And then you only get 71 or something like that, okay? But now this is running at full speed. Can I get through here? No, I can't. All right, I need to go around. You can walk through some of these halfway. And now we can check over here, and this should show 92. Yeah. It's supposed to only generate 90, but this one gives us 92 up to here. So that's really cool, I think. That's the only way I could figure out how to really measure how much we get. And now, of course, we can take this off and replace it. Why did I move this again? With the actual capacitor that we want to use. Because, like I said, I want to keep it within the mod as much as we can. Bam. And then connect this wire one more time. Like this. Okay, and I'm going to set up the other 3 the same way. And then we'll break all the water open. Actually, I thought that while I set this up, I could tell you guys what I found out about these copper wires. There are 3 different ones: copper, electrum, and high voltage. So this is LV, MV, and HV. And what it doesn't tell you in the book is like, why is there 3 different ones, right? The LV only can handle 256 RF a tick, so that's what we're using right now. The MV can do 1024, and the HV can do 4096. I get one more. So that is the only thing about these wires, and also the capacitors and the connectors. That is the only thing that these different levels are doing. There is nothing like in, you know, industrial craft that some of them can explode or something like this. That doesn't exist. Oh, I gotta break this one because I can't reach it. Bam, 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 bam. So right now, because, well, we are going to actually produce more than 256 with these, right? Because 90 times 3 is 360. So that's over 256. But we're not moving them all at once. Some of them are going to go somewhere, and the other ones are going to go to a different processing area. But I just wanted to have, you know, as much little power as we can afford from here. So now, of course, I got to still set up all this glass here real quick. And then, like I said, next episode, we are gonna, I'm gonna build the factory next, because there's gonna be a lot of planning on where I want stuff to be, and I don't want to build this on camera because it's just gonna take too long. And I also have a nice little surprise, I think, on how we're gonna move items. I am not going to use many conduits. I think I'm gonna go with railcraft. I think that would be really fitting to have you know, rail carts move the items that we're producing and so on from one place to another. But we'll see how that works out. But of course, I need to plan all this first. So let's go ahead and open this all. Now they all should be running. Very cool. And now, because, you know, I don't want this ugly glass here, what I want to do here is fill it with water source blocks like this. So, you know, it looks like it is actually falling out. And I think... No, I cannot refill it. It doesn't work. I have to fill them from the top. For some reason, Minecraft doesn't like that when you have them sitting on a block like this. And let's just finish this together real quick. I really like the power generation in this mod. It's a lot of fun for me to set up, you know. It's not just... I mean, big reactor is awesome. I love big reactor and it's fun, but like if you compare this to like magmatic dynamos or something, this is so much more fun to build. And it also, I think, oops, I cannot remove this one. Oh, we get the... Actually, no, I don't want flowing blocks here. Well, maybe it would look better if there's actually flowing blocks going down here, huh? Let's see. Let's finish it first and take a look at it. Alright, there we go. It's all done. Alright, let's land here so it's not so loud anymore. But does this look cool or what? I really like it. I dig it. This right here can use a lot of work, but I don't want to do anymore until I actually have the factory built. But this right here, I'm pleased about it. Did I show you guys these lamps yet? They're from Immersive Engineering also. They're called lanterns. And I'm like, oh god, you gotta hook them up to power. That's what I thought first. But no, all you gotta do is make it with a glowstone, 2 iron, and 2 glass panes. And they're just like torches. And they're actually not that expensive to make if you think about it, you know? Get a few of them. So, now we got coal coke going, we got the steel going, but the steel is really secondary. We are gonna set it up and keep it automated so we just have a constant flow of steel. And I'm sure that we can use it wherever we need it in other mods also, I think, or dictionary exchangeable. And right here, these holes I have here for now, because I don't know yet where I want to come out. Actually, you know what? Let's close these up. They're not that pretty. Let's just close them again. Like I said, you lose power when you transport power through these wires. If we would, you know, change over to Ender IO conduits or something, we wouldn't lose any power, but that's not within the mod. I really want to stay here, so I don't know yet where I'm gonna come out with these cables. But I also have these here. Let me just show you guys. There's these wooden posts that you can make, and I made a few of them, and you can put, you know, connectors on here, so you can run real power lines around. I think that's gonna be quite cool. That's why I had this hole, because I thought I'm gonna come up with the wire to here. But I'll figure all this out between episodes, guys, and then next time, like I said, we're gonna set up the farms and the oil and whatever the other fermenting thing is called, production. And then in the 3rd episode of this Immersive Engineering, it all comes together, and we're actually gonna get to the ore processing. All right, guys, that is all for today. Let me go over here. That way I can make a nice screenshot of this too, like that. Oh yeah, I like it. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and if you did, please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you have any comments or suggestions, please go down in the comment section and let me know, or just say hi. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so I'll pop up in your feed whenever I upload a new video. And on that note, guys, until next time, take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.